The Edenton Steamers look to pick up their fourth consecutive win of the 2020 season and start 4-0 in the TSL and 4-0 at home as they take on Tidewater for the second time this season and the second time this week tonight at 7 o'clock. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Patrick Foster, and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field here in Edenton, North Carolina for the 2020 season's first Friday night edition of Steamers Baseball. Tonight, the Fighting Clams welcome the Drillers of Tidewater back into Historic Hicks Field for the squad's second battle of the season, while the Steamers come in hotter than any team in the TSL, having started their season 3-0 with a 13-run victory, a 9-run victory, and a 6-run victory yesterday against Old Dominion. The Drillers of Tidewater look to pick up their second win of the season and first against the Steamers here in Edenton, and what an impressive win it would be, especially considering the outcome of Edenton's last three ball games, one of them being against the Drillers. Before we get into tonight's action, let's take a look back at last night's victory for your hometown Clams over the Old Dominion Hitters. It was a 10-4 victory over Old Dominion. Old Dominion came in with 3 incoming college freshmen and 22 underclassmen of their 28-man roster, as opposed to this Steamers team, which holds no incoming college freshmen. All of them have seen college ball, except for a few of the freshmen who were unable to because of the shortening of the 2020 season. For the first time in league play, the Steamers were not the first to crack the scoreboard last night. The hitters, in fact, struck first as Zach Morris, the shortstop for Old Dominion, took home plate on a wild pitch from Steamers starter Trevor Kirk. Edenton responded extremely well, though, with a 4-run bottom of the first to take a 3-run lead. The Steamers saw Houston Wright, Aaron Copeland, and Shane Easter all single in the inning. Houston Wright did most of the heavy lifting for the Clams as he finished with a near-perfect night at the plate, 4 of 5, with 2 singles, a double, and a home run as well. Not to mention that was the third time this season that the Steamers have batted around the order to start the ball game in the bottom of the first inning. The Steamers would go scoreless over the next 4 innings, while Old Dominion brought 1 across in the third thanks to a solo home run from designated hitter Alberto Sanchez. The Steamers saw a second offensive win in the bottom of the 6th, this time scoring 5 runs to extend the lead 4-2 to 9-2. Shane Easter and Jackson Hitt both worked walks to start the inning. Easter scored on a ground out from Tyler Myers after working his way from first to third as a result of a balk and wild pitch from driller slinger Ben Capehart. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue our recap of the last game, but first we go to our PA announcer, Tommy Bass, for tonight's national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, saved us that star-spangled banner yet waved o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Back to our recap of yesterday's game against Old Dominion. Shane Easter and Jackson Hitt both worked walks to start the inning. Easter scored on a ground out from Tyler Myers after working his way from first to third as a result of a balk. And a wild pitch from driller slinger Ben Capehart. Brody Rubenstein then tallied his only RBI of the contest with a single to left that brought Hipp around to score. Jared Kaufman would follow up the single with a walk. Both Rubenstein and Kaufman then scored when Houston Wright smoked his double down the right field line to extend the lead to 8-2. Wright would later score on a wild pitch, and the inning would conclude at 9-2. Old Dominion went on to score 1 run in both the 7th and 8th innings. Ray Stokeham from Lenore-Rhine got into just a bit of trouble in his second mound appearance for Edenton in the 8th inning as he walked in a run with 2 out and the bases loaded. He'd escaped the inning before any major meltdown, though, as he struck out Doug Ott looking to finish up the 8th. The bottom of the 8th inning saw the Steamers bring across just 1 more with a solo home run to center field by Houston Wright, his second home run of the season. Wright picked up 3 RBIs in the contest to improve his season total to 10, the most of any player on the Steamers as of now. The homer pushed the lead to 6, 10-4 Steamers. Josiah Seitler would follow the home run up with a double off the left center field wall, but would be left stranded on second to end the 8th inning. Seitler then took over closing duties for the Steamers on the mound in the top of the 9th after playing the previous 8 innings at first base. Seitler then struck out the first 2 batters. He gave up a single to catcher Sebastian Silva, but he struck out right fielder Zach Wojnarowski, who had 2 doubles in the game, and put an end to the contest by a final score of 10-4. Relief pitcher Brett Falk out of Lenore-Rhine earned the first victory of the season for himself for Edenton. He went 2 innings, allowed just 1 hit, 1 single, and no runs with 3 strikeouts along the way. Steamer starter Trevor Kirk lasted 4 innings where he gave up 2 runs, 1 earned run, 4 hits with 9 strikeouts and 1 walk. Edenton saw 5 pitchers take the mound, including Kirk, Folk, Stokeham, Seitler, and Kyle Reynolds, who all combined for 19 strikeouts against Old Dominion. We're ready for first pitch here at Historic Hicks Field, and leading off will be number 2, the second baseman today, Nick Britt, out of the College of William & Mary. He's a commit to the College of William & Mary, so an incoming freshman going up against today's starter for Edenton, Daniel Willie. Willie, the rising junior out of Cleveland State Community College from Ooltewah, Tennessee. Willie made an appearance against Greenbrier. He closed the game for the Steamers back on the 23rd, where he threw for just 1 inning. Allowed no hits, no runs, a walk, and 1 strike. As early on to Nick Britt, he's in a 1-1 count. In 2024, Cleveland State Community College in Tennessee, Willie played in 5 games, started 1 of them, threw for 9 1/3 inning, allowed 8 hits as the third pitch is taken for a called strike 2, a breaking ball from Willie. The 1-2 on its way from the starter, Willie. A breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 3. So Daniel Willie opens up the contest with a strikeout swinging from Nick Britt. So 1 away and nobody on here to start the top of the first. And now standing in, South Trimble, the center fielder. First pitch is swung on in line to the first baseman. Today, Shane Easter, who can't make the play falling to his knees as it sneaks into right field. So first pitch swinging is South Trimble, and he works himself a single.
Shortstop, number 7.
And now it'll be the shortstop, Mason Dunaway, coming up to the plate. Dunaway, a freshman out of JMU in the Colonial Athletic Association, takes the first pitch for a called strike 1. He appeared in 6 games in 2020, making 2 starts for the JMU Dukes. The 0-1 on its way from Willie is swung on and grounded to the third baseman. Alonzo has to make a diving effort, but it'll hop over his glove and into left. And that'll be ruled as a single as well. So 2 hits here for Tidewater after a first out strikeout from the leadoff batter, Nick Britt. So Trimble stands on second and Dunaway on first after 2 singles. And now it'll be the cleanup hitter, Cade Brewer, the commit to Old Dominion University, catching for Tidewater tonight, with 2 on and just 1 away in the top of the first. First pitch from Willie, a changeup, catches the bottom inside corner for strike 1. Brewer didn't play against Edenton in their last contest. as did most of this lineup today for Tidewater. It did not see much action, with a few exceptions against Edenton. In Tidewater's first contest against Old Dominion, Brewer went 1 for 2 with a single, a run, and a walk. 1-1 on its way from Willie with 2 on, swung on a missed. Brewer now in the hole, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Still just 1 away and 2 on. With South Trimble standing on second base. Willie with a couple of shakes from catcher Alan Brown. Time is called, but this time it's from the batter, Cade Brewer. Last time these two teams met up was a 13-4 victory for Edenton. That was back on Wednesday of this week. It's just 2 days ago. Willie with the 1-2. That one swung on and missed. So 2 strikeouts from Willie here in the top of the first inning. First came to the leadoff batter, Nick Britt. Willie then allowed 2 singles, so 2 drillers stand on base. And Trimble on second, and Dunaway still on first. But now 2 outs after the second strikeout of Cade Brewer. Now it's the right fielder, Jacob Mustaine. The pitch won't go against the count as time called while Willie was in the stretch. Tidewater was supposed to have a contest yesterday against Greenbrier, but that one was canceled. So Tidewater 1-1 to start the season after the opening win against Old Dominion, as Mustaine takes that pitch for a called strike 1. Willie with the 0-1. Big cut there from Mustaine, and he falls behind 0-2. Would be a big out from Willie after allowing 2 singles following the opening strikeout. The 0-2 from Willie. Swung on, and that one's fouled in the air, but back behind the plate. Off the outer end of the bat of Jacob Mustaine. The 0-2 from Willie. Inside, taken for a ball. The 1-2 is lofted in the air to center. Brody Rubenstein making his way over to his right. And records the 3rd out of the inning, and that'll do it. Here in the top of the first inning, Tidewater scoreless despite 2 hits and 2 runners left on. No errors on part of the Steamers. We head to the bottom of the first. Steamers have yet to play a game without scoring in the first inning, or batting around in the bottom of the first inning for that matter. We'll see if they can keep that trend going here against Tidewater in their second contest of the season. You're listening to Edenton Steamers baseball on Friday night action here at Historic Hicks Field, only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Steamers hold Tidewater scoreless to open up things in the top of the first inning. And now Brody Rubenstein will lead off for the Steamers in the bottom of the first. The starter today for Tidewater, Aiden Kuehl, the freshman at Roanoke College. In his first appearance of the season against Old Dominion back on the 23rd, he threw for 3 innings, allowed 2 hits, walked 2 batters, and struck out 3. And he took the victory as well. First pitch to Rubenstein, fouled back into the net, so he falls behind 0-1. Rubenstein 1 for 4 yesterday with a single, an RBI, and a walk. Struck out twice as well against Old Dominion's pitching staff. The 0-1 taken for a ball, so the count even now at 1-1. On the young season, Rubenstein currently holding a .250 average at the plate. Big cut there at the 1-1, and it's fouled back behind the grandstand here at Historic Hicks Field. So the count moves to 1-2 to the center fielder. The 1-2 on its way. Swung on and fouled off. So the count remains at 1-2. The pitcher Kuehl appeared 3 times in 2020 for Roanoke, with the 1-2 on its way taken in the dirt for ball 2. Kuehl started 2 games, picked up 1 loss in 5 innings pitched, but collected 5 strikeouts along the way. And he's got Rubenstein in a 2-2 count. The 2-2 taken for a called strike 3. Rubenstein upset at himself for not taking a swing at that one as he heads back to the dugout as the first out in the bottom of the first inning. And now Jared Kaufman out of Eastern Michigan will dig in for his first at-bat of the contest. Kaufman was hitless yesterday against Old Dominion, went 0 for 4 with a walk and a strikeout. First pitch on the way from Kuehl, taken for a called strike 1, that time a slider. Came in pretty slow there. Couldn't have been higher than 75 miles per hour on the gun. Comes back with a fastball high and away for ball 1. Kaufman with 3 singles, his only hits in the season. All 3 of them came against Tidewater on Wednesday as he grounds that one to third. The third baseman Wall with a nice play over to first in time for the second out of the inning. So with 2 gone and none on, Houston Wright steps up to the plate with the Steamers in jeopardy of not bringing a run across for the first time this season in the bottom of the first inning. Wright with an absolute monster day yesterday. Went 4 for 5 at the plate with 2 singles, a double that drove in 2 and a solo home run. Swinging at the first pitch there, it's grounded to the second baseman, Britt. He fields it, makes the throw over the first, and the side is retired. So 3 up, 3 down for the Steamers. No hits, no runners left on, no runs come across the plate, no errors on part of Tidewater. I'm Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball, only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network.
Third baseman, Roanoke College, number 15, Jonathan Wall.
Vidant Health is your hometown healthcare provider. With 8 community hospitals across eastern Northern Carolina, Vidant is happy to serve you for any of your healthcare needs. Vidant also offers numerous wellness center facilities which allow for exercise rehabilitation activities. Be sure to visit your local Vidant centers in Edenton or Windsor and hit a home run with your healthcare provider today. Willie back on the mound for his second inning of work. Digging in John Wall, the third baseman, as he fouls off the first pitch of the AB, and a swing and a miss there on the 0-1. Would have been a ball had he laid off of it. But instead he's down in the count. 0-2 as the leadoff hitter for Tidewater to start the second. The 0-2 from Willie. Breaking ball called strike 3. Looked like it might have been a bit outside, but a nice pitch regardless there from Willie. He sets down John Wall for the first time tonight. And now it'll be number 23.
Christopher Newport, number 23, Cameron Wallace.
Cameron Wallace, the first baseman tonight. Wallace out of Christopher Newport University. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Swing and a miss at the second pitch. The count even now at 1-1. At Christopher Newport in 2020, Wallace made 10 plate appearances. Collected 3 hits for a .300 average. Takes the 1-1 for a ball. High and away. He played his high school ball at Frank W. Cox High School, where he was a multi-sport athlete. The 1-1 on its way, taken for a called strike 2. He helped lead the Falcons at Frank W. Cox to a regional championship as a sophomore. Also finished as a region runner-up and state semifinalist as a senior. Takes the 2-2 for ball 3. So the count full now to the first baseman, Wallace. The full count pitch from Willie is taken for called strike 3. Wallace started to make a move down to first base there because he thought it might have been a called ball, but from my angle here, that one was right down Broadway. Nice pitch there from Willie. And a pair of strikeouts to start the top of the second from Willie. Both of them looking. First pitch of the next AB from Willie is fouled off. Trent Jones, the left fielder for Tidewater out of Hampton, Sydney. Another incoming freshman. Willie with the 0-1. Taken inside for a called ball 1. Breaking ball there from Willie. Couldn't find the inside part of the zone. The 1-1. Swung on and lined back up into center field. Falls right on the cusp of the infield dirt and the outfield grass. So 1 runner on now for Tidewater. And Trent Jones, who stands on first following the single. And now it'll be the DH, Dane Hoggard, coming up to the plate with 2 outs and 1 on. Hoggard did play against Edenton in their opening contest against each other. He went 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Willie to throw over to first, but Jones slides back in safely. Hoggard also scored as a runner just 1 time against Edenton. The first pitch of the AB is a breaking ball, just finds its way into the top inner part of the strike zone. Taken for a called ball 1. No balls, 1 strike now the count with a runner on and 2 outs for the Tidewater Drillers. The 0-1. Taken for a called strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 on the pitch from Willie. Way inside, got away from Willie and plunked the batter Dane Hoggard in the back. Tough break there from Willie as he had Hoggard in the hole 0-2. He gives him first base free of charge on the hit by pitch, and that'll bring us back to the top of the order for Tidewater. Nick Britt, who struck out swinging to open up the ball game, will get a second opportunity. Runners on first and second now for Tidewater with 2 away. And Willie will step off. First pitch of the at-bat, taken for ball 1. We'll take this moment to take you around the defense for the the Edenton Steamers. On the mound, Daniel Willie. Behind the plate out of Presbyterian College, Alan Brown. Shane Easter, the first baseman over at first out of Eastern Michigan. Jared Kaufman at second, and he'll get some action as Britt flies that one out to shallow right field. Kaufman called off the right fielder fine and drops the pop-up. So that'll be an error on Jared Kaufman. 1 runner comes in to score in number 4, Trent Jones. But an out recorded as the throw to third is in time to tag out Dane Hoggard, trying to advance on the throw. So the run will count.
Hi, ma'am.
So we go to the bottom of the second inning now. 1 run come across for Tidewater. They lead 1-0. 1 hit in that top of the second. 1 error on part of the Steamers. It comes on a drop pop-up from Jared Kaufman. We head to the bottom of the second. Steamers trail by 1. I'm Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball, only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Alan Alonso will get his first crack at things today with the Steamers trailing 1-0 following the error by Jared Kaufman on a drop pop fly. The Steamers ended the bottom of the first without scoring a run for the first time in the 2020 season. Looking to get on the board here as they trail 1-0. First pitch of ball, second pitch, skied in the air down the left field line, but that one's going to drift foul and towards the bleachers. Alonso dropping to his knee on that swing. Swing there from Alonso on the 1-1 and fouls that one off as well. So count moves to 1-2. Alonso 0 for 1 last night with a strikeout and a walk against Old Dominion. The 1-2 taken for ball 2. Nice take there from Alonso. Jumping at a changeup high at the letters and a bit outside. Alonso swings at the 2-2 and fouls it on the ground down the third base line. Alonso begins the season with a 125 average at the plate with just 1 single, coming against Tidewater back on the 24th. As he takes the 2-2 for a ball low and inside for ball 3. The count now full to the third baseman, Alan Alonso. Alonso's also drawn 2 walks this season already, so we'll see if he can add a third. As he swings at the 3-2 and pops that one in the air and foul behind the grandstand. Edenton still looking for their first hit tonight as they went down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. The 3-2 on its way. Taken for ball 4. So Alonso now up to 3 walks on the season. No official at bat here in the top of the second, or bottom of the second. And now Josiah Seitler at the University of South Carolina will step back in. Was 1 for 5 yesterday with a double to left center field. took him all the way until the bottom of the 8th inning to get his first hit, but he extended that hitting streak to 3 games. Looks to bring it to 4 here against Tidewater in his first plate appearance, with 1 runner on and none away for the Steamers. Kuehl with the first pitch to Seitler. An off-speed pitch taken just a bit low, but called strike 1. Official time there. Seitler steps out, but will readjust back in the left-handed hitter's box. Seitler swing and a miss there. So he falls behind in the count 0-2. Seitler picked up his first home run against Greenbrier in the league opener on Tuesday. The 0-2 on its way, swung on a miss by Seitler. So he's set down swinging. And the first out recorded for the Edenton Steamers in the bottom of the 2nd. Now Shane Easter out of Eastern Michigan, teammates with Jared Kaufman. And the first baseman for the Steamers today will dig in for his first plate appearance. Easter went 1 for 3 yesterday with 3 RBIs. This came across to score just 1 time. Alonso looked like he was stealing there, but held up as Easter fouls off the first pitch of the at-bat back behind the first base line bleachers and onto East Freemason Street. If you're just tuning in, Steamers still trail 1-0. After Tidewater scored in the top of the 2nd, Alonso has to slide back into first base as Kuehl makes a throw over, but he does so safely. Kuehl with a throw over once again, but Alan Alonso ahead, way ahead of it. Stands in safely. Still no balls, 1 strike to Shane Easter after the foul ball and 1 out. Alonso on the move from first. Easter fouls that one away, so Alonso will have to head right back to first base. Easter comes into today's contest with one of the highest batting average is on this team, a .375 average at the plate, an on-base percentage of exactly .500. Still looking for that first extra base hit, though, of the season. He's got 3 singles in 3 contests. The 0-2 on its way. A slider that falls too far outside of the zone. So the first ball of the at-bat taken by Shane Easter. Alonso still stands over there at first with 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Another throw over there from Kuehl to Alonso at first. Alonso slides in safely. First baseman Wallace dropped the ball, but was able to keep it in front of him. Steamers still looking for some offensive life here. Hitless through 1 1/3 inning. Pitch from Kuehl there, a breaking ball that fell into the dirt. It's the count even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The pitch to Easter. He skies that one into shallow center field. Center fielder coming in on it, has to make a diving play. South Trimble unable to come up with it. Alonso does a nice job hanging in between first and second. He stands up at second base safely. And because of the extra effort, that'll go in as the first hit for the Steamers tonight. And they've now got 2 on with just 1 out. Casey Hare, the shortstop, batting .286 on the season. We'll dig in for his first plate appearance today. First appearance in the lineup for Hare, not as the leadoff hitter. So we'll see how he does today in the 7-hole. Playing shortstop tonight for the Steamers. And he takes the first pitch and lines it into left field over the shortstop head. Alonso's going to round third head for home. He's going to score without a throw. And the Steamers tie it up. Easter safe at second. Casey Hare drives in his first RBI of the season with a first pitch single into left. And just like that, we're tied up at 1-1 here in the bottom of the second inning. Now up to the plate, the catcher for today's action, Alan Brown out of Presbyterian College. Fans, if you haven't heard, Steamers lost a player today. Catcher Colt Byers out of Catawba Valley Community College sustained an injury a couple of days ago. And prognosis wasn't looking like he'd be getting too much time this summer. Should be all set for the fall. But everyone here at Edenton wishes Colt the best as he moves forward with his collegiate career. And we might just see him back here next year. And hopefully we do. Brown starts 1-1 at the plate. Takes the 1-1 for a called strike 2. Brown collected his first hit of the season against Tidewater. The 1-2 is grounded down the third base line, but it scoots foul. Right in front of head coach and third baseman coach today, Marshall McDonald. Brown didn't appear yesterday. An opportunity for his first RBI as a Steamer with a runner in scoring position and a runner on first as he takes the 1-2, a breaking ball, low and away for ball 2, so the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Just a bit outside. Taken for ball 3. Brown maybe a little lucky on that call there, as it looked like it might have snuck its way into the zone from the press box. But he lives to see one more pitch at least with a 3-2 count. Runners on the move from first and second, and Brown takes the 3-2 for ball 4. Looked like a fastball that wound up in the dirt. So now bases loaded for the right fielder Adam Fine, the rising sophomore at St. Joseph's University in Pennsylvania. Fine's father, Matt Fine, actually a sports broadcasting professor at Temple University. Gave me a nice little message on Instagram the other day. Always love seeing that the families of these players support everything we do here at Edenton, not just what I do. First pitch to Fine taken outside for ball 1. Fine came in as a defensive substitution yesterday against Old Dominion, but did not have a plate appearance. Takes the second pitch for the first strike of the at-bat. Fine comes in with a .250 batting average. Went 1 for 3 against Tidewater back on Wednesday, excuse me. Grounds the 1-1 back to the hole between first and second, but the speedy wheels of Fine makes that an easy base hit as it got past the glove of Nick Brett and into right field. Shane Easter comes around to score. So the Steamers take a lead 2-1 here in the bottom of the second with still just 1 away and the base is still loaded. And now Brody Rubenstein, who is sat down on strikes in his first plate appearance, has another opportunity with the bases loaded. And still just 1 out. Kuehl with the first pitch of the at-bat. Rubenstein wanted to go around, but he held up and maybe should have, as it's taken for a called strike 1. Kuehl working quickly on the second pitch, and it's fouled off by Rubenstein, so he falls behind quickly 0-2. The 0-2 to Rubenstein. Swing and a miss. So he goes down looking in his first plate appearance and goes down swinging there. And 3 straight pitches. Now Jared Kaufman will dig back in. As we have a moment here, let's take a look around the defense for Tidewater. Cade Brewer starts behind the place, the commit to Old Dominion University. Cameron Wallace at first base at Christopher Newport University. Nick Britt, the commit to the College of William & Mary at second. Mason Dunaway, the freshman at James Madison University at shortstop. And the third baseman out of Roanoke College, at least committed to Roanoke College, John Wall. First pitch to Kaufman, taken for a called strike 1. The outfield left to right, Trent Jones at Hampton-Sydney College, number 4 in left. South Trimble at George Mason in center. The sophomore at Virginia Military Institute, Jacob Mustaine, number 8 in right. Second pitch, a fastball taken high and tight for strike 1. Kaufman 0 for 1 today, grounded out to third base in his first plate appearance. Was the second out recorded in the top of the first. Smacks that one, but it's going to be right to the left fielder, Trent Jones. He just has to take a few steps forwards to put that one away and record the third and final out. The Steamers take a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the second inning on 3 hits. No errors on part of the Tidewater Drillers. 3 runners left on as the bases were loaded for Kaufman as he flew out to left. We head to the top of the third. Steamers lead 2-1. I'm Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball, only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Back at Historic Hicks Field, where your Steamers currently hold a 2-1 lead over the Tidewater Drillers in the 2 squads' second matchup of the season and second matchup of the week. It didn't quite finish going around the defense for the Edenton Steamers tonight, so why don't we take it from the top? Daniel Willey, the starter on the mound for Edenton. Alan Brown out of Presbyterian College behind the plate. Shane Easter out of Eastern Michigan over at first. Jared Kaufman, the teammate of Shane Easter at Eastern Michigan, at second. Casey Hare out of High Point University in Tennessee starts at shortstop, and Alan Alonzo at third base out of the University of Mount Olive. South Trimble will lead off for Tidewater here in the top of the third inning and takes the first pitch from Daniel Willey for a ball high and away. Second pitch is fouled off the inside part of the bat. The outfield for the Edenton Steamers, left to right, out of the University of Tennessee, Martin, and leading the way for the Steamers at the plate in average RBIs and home runs, Houston Wright, number 22, out in left field, as the 1-1 gets away from Brown behind the plate. A breaking ball that wound up about 6 inches in front of his glove, so called ball 2. Brody Rubenstein out of Monterey College in center as Trimble skies that one into right field. Adam Fine making his way over towards the foul pole area. Sorry, there's a banister in my way. Fine had to drop to his knees and made an impressive sliding grab for the first out of the inning. Wish I could have seen that one as it happened, because it was a beautiful play from Fine. So 1 out for the Drillers here in the top of the third. Find the starter for the Steamers in right out of St. Joseph's University. Mason Dunaway, the shortstop, digging in for his second time tonight. Singled back in his first plate appearance and was left stranded. Takes the second pitch for a called strike one. The 1-1 taken for ball two. So the count moves to 2-1. The 2-1, a fastball. A little bit high and a little bit outside. So the count to 3-1. Dunaway was a 4-year letter winner at Hickory High School in Virginia. He awaits the 3-1 from Willie, and it's taken in the dirt for ball four. So with one out, shortstop Mason Dunaway works a walk in his second plate appearance, so he's still 1 for 1 on the day. And now Cade Brewer, the catcher, will have another opportunity after striking out back in the first inning. Swings at the first pitch and chops it foul down into left field. One runner on, one out for Tidewater. They trail by 1. Steamers put 2 on the scoreboard. In the bottom of the second, Willie a throw over to first. But Dunaway sneaks his hand back in there quickly. And he's safe. Still just 1 away and 1 runner on. Willie another throw over. Willie once again. No balls, 1 strike. The pitch from Willie swung on and missed. Brewer falls behind 0-2 in his second plate appearance tonight. There's a strikeout swinging back in the first. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Dunaway started moving, held up in between second and first. But the ball snuck away from Allen Brown to the backstop, so Dunaway takes second with no throw down. And the count moves to 1-2 to the man at the plate, Cade Brewer, with now a runner in scoring position and 1 away. One ball, 2 strikes, and a man on second. The pitch swung on and lofted in the air to shallow left center. Rubenstein, the center fielder, coming all the way in and getting under it to record the second out. A big out with a runner in scoring position as well. Nice play there from Rubenstein.
Well, now 2 outs, right field.
Not many balls carrying early here at Historic Hicks Field. Most pop-ups have really been to the shallow parts of whatever respective part of the outfield they've been hit to. Jacob Mustaine, the right fielder, stepping in once again tonight. Takes the first pitch for a called strike 1. Mustaine flew out to center to conclude matters in the first inning. Willie kicks and deals the 0-1. A breaking ball, couldn't find that outer half of the zone. So it's taken for the first ball of the AB. And now we're joined by Sam the Clam here in the press box, coming to pay us a visit. The 1-1. Sneaks past Allen Brown on the inside part of the plate. Mustaine almost hit by the pitch, but he's able to sneak out of the way in time and The runner Dunaway makes his way up to third base. And the count moves to 2-1 to the man at the plate, Jacob Mustaine. So a 2-1 count, my apologies, to the man at the plate, Mustaine. Big swing and a miss on the 2-1. So the count even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Chesapeake, Virginia native awaits the 2-2 from Willie. One looked like a slider. It just missed the inside part of the plate. So it's taken for ball 3. A full count now to the first baseman. Right fielder. My bad, I'm making error after error tonight. My apologies. The 3-2. Mustaine fouls that one off, so he stays alive here with the count remaining at 3 balls and 2 strikes. (3-2) still the count. The pitch on its way from Willie to Mustaine. Swung on and drilled to right field. Adam Fine will give that one a look, but it is way gone. Mustaine got every stitch of that one as he sends it over the right field wall. A 2-run blast that gives Tidewater the lead back. It's 3-2. And for the first time this season, the Steamers trail outside of the first inning. Nice job from Mustaine, working the count all the way full. Getting a pitch he likes and sending it over the right field wall. Can't ask for a better at-bat if you're a hitting coach or even a head coach. Now digging in John Wall, the third baseman, trying to follow up the 2-run shot from Jacob Mustaine. Wall went down looking in his first plate appearance in the top of the second. First pitch taken for a ball. Second pitch high and tight. Wall has to duck out of the way to avoid being hit. So the count moves to 2-0. The 2-0. Fastball high and outside the zone. And Alan Brown will take a moment to talk things over with Daniel Willie, who seems to have maybe lost a bit of his composure here in the top of the third. I'm sure Brown just wants to make sure he settles back down after giving up the 2-run home run. Now Connor Daly, the pitching coach, will make a visit out there as well. Well, we have a moment here. I want to tell you a little bit more about the Albemarle Area United Way. The Albemarle Area United Way is a nonprofit organization that improves residents' lives in 9 counties throughout the northeastern North Carolina area. This year, the Steamers have partnered up with the United Way and are looking forward to helping raise money for their services. On Thursday, July 2nd, the Steamers will be wearing specifically and specially themed patriotic jerseys for their game. The jerseys will be auctioned off during the game, and all proceeds will go back to the Albemarle Area United Way. If you would like to have this one-of-a-kind jersey, be sure to join us here on Thursday, July 2nd, and support a good cause. Willie with a nice comeback pitch after the meeting on the mound. So the count moves to 3-1 to the third baseman Wall, who's looking to avoid his second consecutive out at the plate. And he does, as he takes the 3-1 for ball 4. That was a fastball that ended too low and too far inside. Now Cameron Wallace, the first baseman out of Christopher Newport University, steps up. Cameron Wallace struck out looking as well in his first plate appearance. Swings at the 1-0 and pops that one to deep right. Adam Fine having to make his way back to the warning track, maybe a foot or two in front of it, but he gets under it and puts it away for the final out of the inning. 2 runs come across on a 2-run shot, off the bat of Jacob Mustaine. The only hit of the inning. So the Tidewater Drillers lead 3-2 as we enter the bottom of the third inning. Steamers trail. We'll see if they can come back and tie things up in the bottom of the third inning. My name is Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Houston Wright, who could do near nothing wrong yesterday, steps in after going 0 for 1 in his first plate appearance. He grounded out to second to record the third and final out of the bottom of the first. Steamers could use some offensive firepower from Wright in this at-bat. As they trail by 1, it's 3-2 after the 2 runs Tidewater scored in the top of the third off the 2-run shot from Jacob Mustaine. The 1-0 is taken for a called strike 1. Wright comes into today with a .643 batting average for the Steamers. He leads the Steamers in that category. He also leads them in RBIs. He's got 10. He also leads them in home runs with 2. The 2-1 to Wright is taken to center field. So Wright extends his hitting streak to 4 games as that one falls in no man's land. Right off the end of the bat for Houston Wright. But that's what the Steamers need as they trail by 1. Early offense. And now Alan Alonso, who drew a walk in his first plate appearance, will step back in. Alonso looking for the second hit of his young Steamers career. Takes the first pitch there from Kuehl for ball 1. Kuehl out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. Played high school baseball for Cape Henry Collegiate. Swing there from Alonso on the 1-0. But it's fouled high and far down the right field line and over the concession stand. The 1-1. Swing and a miss from Alonso on the 1-1. And now he's down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wright stands on first, following the leadoff single to center field. Alonso, big cut there. Bit of a golf swing as it drifts foul and out of play down the left field line. So the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes to the third baseman, Alan Alonso, out of Miami. One ball, 2 strikes. A man on first, no outs for the Steamers. Alonso awaits the 1-2. Swings and pops that one straight up in the air. It's going to drift foul back towards the backstop. The catcher, Cade Brewer, tracks it down and puts it away. An unfortunate plate appearance there for Alan Alonso, as I'm sure he was really hoping to get on there and record his second hit as a Steamer. But he heads back to the dugout now, 0 for 1 today after drawing a walk in his first plate appearance. And now Josiah Seitler digs back in. Seitler 0 for 1 as well. He struck out swinging. has the first out of the bottom of the second. Wright still stands on first. The first pitch to Seitler is lofted in the air towards shallow left center. It'll be the left fielder Jones making his way in and putting it away. So one pitch, one out for Josiah Seitler. And now there are 2 outs in the inning.
First base, Eastern Michigan, number 13, Shane Easter.
Now Shane Easter back up to the plate. He singled in his first at-bat with a bloop to center field. Pickoff move from Kuehl on the mound. Right slides back in safely. First pitch to Easter taken for a called strike 1. Easter visibly upset at himself as that was a fastball right down the heart of the plate. The 0-1 is a curveball that falls a little too far down below the zone. Might have been just a bit outside as well. And on first, 1 ball, 1 strike to Shane Easter, who's 1 for 1 today. Big cut there, but he comes up empty. And the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Steamers trail here in the bottom of the 3rd. It's 3-2 in favor of the Drillers. Pickoff move again. Right slides in safely. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a man on for the Steamers. The pitch to Shane Easter. A changeup, just a bit low. So the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Easter. Easter looking to start today 2 for 2. The pitch taken for ball 3. Nice job by Easter after falling behind in the count. Works it back to full with a man on first and 2 away. The 3-2 right on the move from first. Easter fouls off the 3-2 down the right field line. He'll see another pitch with 2 away. Steamers still trailing by 1. Right on the move again. Easter skies that one way up in the air near the shortstop Dunaway. Moves over to his right and puts it away for the final out of the inning. Steamers trail by 1 as we head to the top of the 4th inning. They collect 1 hit in the inning off the single from Houston Wright, but they strand him on first, and no errors on part of the Tidewater Drillers. I'm Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network.
Left field from Hatley City, number 4, Trent Jones.
Trent Jones will lead off in the top of the fourth. Daniel Willie retains duties on the mound for Edenton. First pitch to Trent Jones is taken for a ball. Jones made an appearance against Edenton last time, but on the mound, where he threw for 2 innings. So he takes the second pitch from Willie for ball 2. Jones threw for 2 innings, allowed 1 hit, walked a batter, and struck out 1. Allowed 1 earned run. The 2-0, taken for a called strike 1. Nice movement there. Looked like a cutter from Daniel Willie, as it made a hard cut from the inside part of the right-handed hitter's box right back to the middle. Breaking ball there from Willie, taken for ball 3 in the dirt. In Jones's first appearance as a position player, he went 0 for 3 at the plate against Old Dominion, but worked a walk. And he'll work his second walk of the season right there. So no outs. And now Dane Hoggard steps back in. Hoggard was hit by a pitch in his last plate appearance and was thrown out on a scoring play when Jared Kaufman dropped a pop fly to short right field. A pickoff move from Willie over to first, but the runner slides in safely. First pitch of the AB on its way from Willie. Low. Ball 1. According to Perfect Game, Dane Hoggard tops out at around 81 miles per hour in the infield, as he takes that one for ball 2. Willie with the 2-0. Swung on and fouled back. Willie also a multi-sport athlete. Didn't play in high school, but he loves playing basketball. Says he was playing nightly with his friends for almost 4 years. Lists his favorite athletes as Kyrie Irving and Damian Lillard. Now he's got the man at the plate in a 2-1 count. The 2-1 on its way, taken for ball 3. So Hoggard works the count from 2-1 to 3-1. Strike 3 called. It was actually a 2-2 count. Our scoreboard here at Historic Hicks Field had the count incorrect. They had it at 3-1. So I guess that's a lesson to stop following that. And just start keeping track myself. Got to do everything. Just kidding. Only joking. Pickoff move from Willie over to the first baseman, Easter, but it's not in time. That strikeout was the first out here in the top of the 4th inning, as Trent Jones, the left fielder, found his way on. A pass ball there tips off the glove of Alan Brown, and Jones makes his way up to second base without a throw. Looks like Aaron Copeland is warming up in the bullpen for the Edenton Steamers. Ball there from Willie. Count moves to 2-0. The second baseman, Nick Britt, who's looking for his first official hit. He reached on an error. It was the dropped pop-up to Jared Kaufman that wound up bringing home a run. Time called at the plate by Britt. So he wants to resettle in. 2 balls, no strikes, with 1 out and a man standing on second base for Tidewater. They hold a 3-2 lead here in the top of the 4th inning. Sunset shining off the historic Hicks Field scoreboard out and right. Willie now, the third pitch, a ball. So they count to 3-0 against Nick Britt. Willie checks on the runner at second. Kicks and deals the 3-0, and it's taken low and away for ball 4. And it looks like Marshall McDonald is going to make his way out to the mound, as that will likely do it for Daniel Willie's day. And the entire infield will come to the mound to show their support for Daniel, as that'll do it for Daniel Willie's outing. He goes 3 1/3, allows 4 hits and 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 1 unearned. And he gets a standing ovation here from the Steamers home faithful. A couple of Steamers come out to support him. And it wasn't a terrible start for Daniel Willie. But when you talk about the standards these Steamers are getting comfortable with, based off their past 3 performances, the pitching, the offense, the defense, it's all been elite. So I'm sure Daniel Willie not satisfied with that appearance on the mound, but still a solid day nonetheless. And Aaron Copeland will be the relief pitcher out of the bullpen for Edenton. Copeland made an appearance against Greenbrier back on the 23rd. He pitched for 1 inning, struck out 3 batters, allowed no hits, walked none, and didn't allow a run. And in fact, picked up the win for the Steamers in that contest. As a batter yesterday against Old Dominion, went 0 for 4 with a walk and a strikeout. Played in 16 games overall with Newberry College back in 2019, with 10 pitching appearances, all of them coming in relief. And while we have a moment, I'd like to bring you a message from Regulator Marine. Regulator Marine is a locally owned and operated boat builder who crafts the best center console sport fishing boats in the business. Built in North Carolina and tested against the challenging conditions of the Outer Banks, Regulator boats are seriously tough sport fishers, known for their exceptional fit and finish, as well as a dry, soft, and comfortable ride. Designed for ultimate fishability, incredible comfort, and serious performance at every turn, each boat in their line delivers maximum versatility as you pursue the offshore life. That's Regulator Marine. So Copeland out of the pen will face South Trimble with 1 out and 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position.
George Mason, number 14, South Trimble.
Trimble 1 for 2 today, a single to right in his first plate appearance in the first inning, and he flew out to right in his last plate appearance. It was the spectacular sliding, almost basket catch from Adam Fine out in right as he slid into the bullpen fence out in right field. First pitch from Copeland to Trimble is taken for a called strike 1. Ball 1, taken for ball 1. Trimble, a freshman at George Mason University. Did not play in 2020 for George Mason. So he takes the 1-1 inside at the knees for a called ball 2. So the count moves to 2-1 with 1 away and 2 on. Trimble played his high school ball at Frank W. Cox High School. Earned 3 varsity letters in baseball and 2 in basketball. He was named second team all-region while playing with the Falcons. Fouls off the 2-1, so the count even now at 2-2. His father, Jim Trimble, played basketball at the United States Merchant Marine Academy. Outside of baseball, enjoys fishing, golfing, basketball, and believe it or not, magic. I'd love to see some magic from South. Grounds the 2-2 back to the shortstop, Harry. Flips it over to the second for one. Kaufman, the throw to first, is not in time. So no double play there, but 1 out recorded and 2 away in the top of the 4th inning. Nice job by Copeland forcing the routine ground ball out of the bullpen. So 1 batter faced from Copeland and 1 out. And now Mason Dunaway, the shortstop, who's 1 for 1 today with a walk, has an opportunity with runners on the corners. The pickoff move from Copeland takes a hop in the dirt. The runner Jones started to make his move from third, but Easter recovered in time, so Jones scrambles back safely to third without a throw even necessary from Easter. No count to the man at the plate, Dunaway, with 2 outs. Takes the first pitch for a called ball 1. Dunaway skies that one into shallow left. It'll be Casey Hare tracking it back into the outfield. And he makes the one-handed snag. So that does it here in the top of the 4th inning. No score for Tidewater in the inning. They still lead 3-2 thanks to the 2 runs back in the top of the 3rd and 1 run in the 2nd. No hits for them there either. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Steamers Steamers trail by 1. I'm Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network.
Casey Hare.
With the Steamers down by 1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning, Casey Hare steps in. He's 1 for 1 today with an RBI. In fact, his first RBI in the summer of 2020. Takes the first pitch from Aiden Kuehl, who's back on the mound for Tidewater, for a ball. Second pitch, high and inside of the hands, called strike 1. The 1-1 taken for a called strike 2. A nice off-speed pitch there from Aiden Kuehl. Froze Hare at the plate. Now he's behind 1-2. The 1-2 swung on and fouled back. Nice job being aggressive at the plate there by Casey Hare. That one looked like it may have been a bit outside, but playing it safe and making contact and staying alive with the foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch, a breaking ball taken for a called strike 3. Hare was sure that one was out of the zone, but the umpire behind the plate thought differently. So Hare sits down as the first out of the inning, and Alan Brown checks back in. He walked in his first plate appearance in the second, looking for just his second hit as a Steamer. Brown takes the first pitch from Kuehl, a called strike 1. The 0-1 is swung on and popped in the infield to the second baseman, Britt. He gets under it and makes the one-handed grab for the second out of the inning. 2 up, 2 down for the Steamers. Now Adam Fine, the right fielder, has another opportunity. He singled earlier in the second inning. The single from Fine brought in a run as well, so he picks up an RBI. Swinging on the first pitch, grounds it to Nick Britt at second base. Has to make a spin as the momentum brought his glove into the outfield, but he makes the throw over to first in time for the third and final up. 3 up, 3 down, no hits, no runs come across, no runners left on, and no errors on part of Tidewater as we head to the top of the 5th inning. The score 3-2, Drillers lead. You're listening to Edenton Steamers baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Cade Brewer to lead off, the catcher for Tidewater. Brewer for 2 today with a strikeout and a fly out to center. Brewer, a commit to Old Dominion University. Takes the first pitch, a fastball from Copeland. Middle in for ball 1. Brewer attended high school at Atlantic Shores Christian and is originally from Virginia Beach. Not only plays catcher, but can also play pretty much any position outside of first in the infield, and he's also a capable outfielder at 6'2", 205 pounds. Grounds the 2-0 from Copeland down the third base line, just a bit foul. Luckily for the Steamers, had that been inside the line, it would have been out of reach for Alan Alonso. But the count moves to 2-1 against Cade Brewer. Brewer looking for his first hit tonight. The 2-1. A bit low, but called strike 2. Nice pitch there from Copeland to even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 now on its way from Aaron Copeland. Check swing there. Brown tags the batter. They're going to appeal down to the first base umpire. Pretty late appeal, but he calls it a swinging strike. So Brewer sits down on strikes for the second time tonight, both times swinging. And now Jacob Mustaine, who went deep to right field in the 3rd inning, driving home 2 runs. Steps back into the box, this time against Aaron Copeland, a righty on lefty matchup. First pitch, a fastball in the dirt and away. 1-0 the count. Second pitch of the at-bat, a breaking ball from Copeland. Started outside, ended outside. So the count moves to 2-0 now. The 2-0. Taken for the first strike of the AB. The 2-1 now on its way from Copeland. Taken for strike 2. Mustin didn't play for Virginia Military Institute in 2020, in large part to the shortened season. The 2-2 taken for ball 3. Slider there from Copeland. Wound up just a bit too outside. In 2019, Mustaine at Virginia Military Institute played in 8 games, made 4 plate appearances. He fouls off the 3-2. He scored once as a runner, walked 3 times, and was hit by a pitch just once. And did not play against Edenton in these club's first meeting back on Wednesday. The 3-2 on its way from Copeland again. A breaking ball that broke the wrong way. Ended up in the right-handed hitter's box. So Mustaine takes first base freely, and now John Wall, the 3rd baseman, will work his way back into the box. Wall 0 for 1 today with a strikeout looking in the 2nd. He walked in the 3rd. Runner on first, 1 away. Steamers still trail 3-2 with Aaron Copeland on the mound in the midst of his 2nd inning of work. Should he complete the inning, he will have worked for an inning and 2/3. The 1-0 from Copeland. Nice pitch there at the knees, but inside the zone, taken for called strike 1. One's litter the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out with a runner on first. Drilled to center field. Rubenstein trotting back to the warning track. He'll put it away. For the 2nd out, Mustaine stays put at first base. Well hit there, but just to the wrong part of the ballpark, as Rubenstein doesn't have to move too far. And now number 23, Cameron Wallace, the first baseman, will dig back in. Wallace 0 for 2 as well with a strikeout looking and a fly out to right. First pitch, big cut there from Wallace, and he comes up empty. So he falls behind 0-1. 3 runs for Tidewater, just 2 for Edenton. Second pitch taken for a called strike 2. Edenton's been held scoreless since the bottom of the 2nd. They'll look to change that as we head into the bottom of the 5th. Should Copeland record the 3rd and final out here with a man on first and Cameron Wallace at the plate. The 0-2. Called strike 3. Nice slider there from Copeland to put Wallace down looking for the second time tonight. One runner left on, no hits and no runs come across for Tidewater. No errors on part of the Steamers. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Steamers looking to tie this up with 1 run and take a lead with 2 or more. I'm Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball, only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Brody Rubenstein will lead off as we're back at the top of the order for the Steamers. Aiden Kuehl back on the mound for Edenton, or excuse me, for Tidewater. Rubenstein looking to change his fortunes from tonight. He struck out twice, once looking and once swinging. Shows bunt, lays it down, but it's gonna drop behind the plate and into foul territory. So the count moves to 0-1 to Rubenstein. Surprised we haven't seen that more often from Rubenstein. At only about 5'6", he's got some wheels on him, which makes him such an effective center fielder. And he digs back in with an 0-1 count against Aiden Kuehl. The 0-1. Taken for a called strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter in the inning, Brody Rubenstein. Now the 1-2 from Kuehl. That one was high and out of the zone, but Rubenstein makes a attempt at it anyway and fouls it off into the netting behind home plate. The 1-2 once again from Kuehl. Swung on and grounded foul. Takes a couple of high hops onto the top of the Drillers dugout. The count still at 1-2. Kuehl from the stretch. And Rubenstein goes down swinging once again. So 2 strikeouts looking and 2 strikeouts swinging and 1 looking. So Rubenstein only here in the bottom of the 5th inning picks up a hat trick in K's. Now Jared Kaufman digs back in. Kaufman looking for his first hit in 2 days. So he went 0 for 4 yesterday against Old Dominion. Takes the first pitch there for a ball. Fastball just a little high and a little outside. The 1-0. Swung on, and that one's lofted into deep left center field. That one's going to get down and roll up against the wall. Kaufman rounding first. He's headed to second. No one on base, so Kaufman will stand up at second base. No runners come across the plate with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Big hit there from Kaufman as he'd been struggling in his last 6 plate appearances. Was 0 for 2 coming into that at-bat, and now 1 for 3. And Houston Wright, the man you want up at the plate in situations like this, as he's 1 for 2 today with a single into center. An identical hit would bring in that runner from second, as Kaufman definitely has some wheels under him, and tie up this ball game at 3 apiece. Wright swinging at the first pitch and fouls it a line drive down the left field line and into the home bullpen. The 0-1 now to Wright. Taking for a ball. When you look at the numbers from Wright at the University of Tennessee Martin, you start to realize why he's been having such a astounding season at the plate as he takes that one into center for another single. Kaufman being waved around third by Marshall McDonald. He will score without a throw in. Wright stands up at first. No fire extinguisher in the entire world could put out Houston Wright's fire. It's not possible. He might be the hottest baseball player in the world right now. And think about it, with not much other baseball going on, that could definitely be the case. He came into today with a .643 batting average, and he's now 2 for 3 today with 2 singles, and he's picked up his 11th RBI of the season. And we're tied up at 3 runs apiece in the bottom of the 5th inning. Alan Alonso looking to keep things going here for the Steamers with just 1 away. First pitch is swung on and popped up right behind short. Dunaway not having to move too far to put that one away. And the second out recording quickly. Alonso will head back to the dugout and Josiah Seitler will step in. Big at bat here for Seitler, as he's 0 for 2 with a strikeout today as well. Looking to extend his hitting streak to 4 games. Went 1 for 5 yesterday with a double. Takes the first pitch, a called strike 1. Seitler shakes his head, as that one did wind up way inside and down below his shins. Regardless, the count now 0-1 to the rising junior at University of South Carolina. He's swinging on the 0-1. Grounder takes a high hop to Dunaway at shortstop. He's able to snag it midair and make the throw to first in time to retire the side. 2 hits, a double from Kaufman, and a single that brought Kaufman in from second to tie this game up at 3 runs apiece. 1 runner left on in Houston Wright. No errors on part of the Tidewater Drillers. We head to the top of the 6th inning, tied up 3 runs apiece here at Historic Hicks Field. My name's Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball, only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. The Steamers are excited to announce the upcoming Magic 95.9 night at Historic Hicks Field. On Friday, July 24th, one lucky fan will go home with $25,000, courtesy of Magic 95.9. Mark your calendars now. You will not want to miss it. Magic 95.9 is a proud sponsor of your Edenton Steamers. Tune in every weekday morning from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. and listen with Bill Benjamin. Magic 95.9, the music lover station. Copeland back on the mound for his 3rd inning of work. Should he complete it, he will have completed 2 2/3 innings. He faces South Trimble to start the inning, and Trimble fouls off the first pitch. Takes the second right back up the middle, a ground ball to second. Kaufman makes his way over. The throw in time is in time. Nice play there from Kaufman, having to make his way all the way over from standard second base positioning. And a nice throw in time to record the first out of the inning. One Eastern Michigan ball player to another, with Easter over at first. And a quick first out recorded. Big swing and a miss there from number 37, Dane Hogard. Second pitch taken for a ball. Slider that got away from him. Swing and a miss there. Huge cut by Hogard. The count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. With 1 away here already for Tidewater. Off the ground out to Kaufman at second. The 1-2. Jared Kaufman quickly making the impression through 4 games that he's one of this team's better defensive players. Everyone on this team is shown to be just elite on both sides of the ball, but Kaufman has made play after play over there at second, despite the error he made back in the second inning. It was very uncharacteristic of him. I'm sure anyone on this team would say that. I'm saying that just after watching 4 days worth of practice. Last pitch moves the count to full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Hogard at the plate with 1 away. A 3-2. Taken for ball 4. So following the first at-bat out from the ground out, Hogard works a walk to put a runner on first for Tidewater. We're tied up still. 3 runs for both sides have come across the plate. Edenton scored 2 back in the bottom of the second inning. Tidewater scored at the top of that inning, just brought 1 across. They brought 2 across in the third off a 2-run bomb. That pitch gets away from Brown behind the plate, but a quick reaction keeps Hogard put over at first base. Nick Britt, the second baseman, at the plate. Britt still looking to keep the offense going for Tidewater. He's got a hit today, a single back in the second. Pops that one up behind the grandstand. Britt struck out swinging back in the first and walked in the 4th inning. Ball in the gap could score a runner, with Hogard standing over on first base in a tie ball game, 3 runs aside. Gets behind that one, and that one's going to go right into the gap between right and center, but find the speedy legs. He makes an astounding running play to put that one away. It looked like it was going to get down. Both players had kind of angled to play it off the wall. But Fine, I guess, underestimating how fast himself even is. So 2 away now for Tidewater to start the 6th inning with a runner on first. And South Trimble back at the plate, the center fielder out of George Mason. Trimble 1 for 2 today with a single in the first inning, a fly out to right, and back in the fourth grounded into a fielder's choice to shortstop. The 0-1 on its way to Trimble here in his 4th plate appearance. Ball got away from Brown. He lost it. It dribbled in front of him. He couldn't find it. But the runner, Hogard, not quick enough reaction over there at first base. But you could hear screams from Tidewater fans, run, run, run. He didn't make a move. So a runner still on first base with 2 outs. And 1 ball, 1 strike the count to South Trimble. Man at the plate. Swing and rips that one to left field. Houston Wright going to make his way over and put it away on a line for the 3rd and final out of the inning. No hits, no runs come across, one runner left on. It's Hoggard at first after the walk. No errors on part of the Steamers. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning now, still tied at 3 runs aside. I'm Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball, only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Shane Easter to lead off for Edenton in the bottom of the 6th inning, with the score tied at 3-all. Easter looking for his second hit tonight, came up with a single and came around to score in the 2nd inning. Scored off the single from Adam Fine. New pitcher on the mound for Tidewater. It's number 20. But we don't believe it's the listed number 20, Miles Webb, because Miles Webb is listed as a right-hander, and there's a lefty on the mound for Tidewater right now. The 1-1 on its way to Easter. Big swing and a miss there as he drops to his back knee. The count moves to 1-2. The 1-2. A curveball that fooled Easter at the plate. He was way out in front of it, and it was landed on the outside part of the plate, so he had to reach for it as well. Looking kind of silly on that swing, but I'm sure everyone will forgive him as they're still tied. That was only the first out of the inning, and Casey Hare digs back in. Hare struck out looking in his previous plate appearance, but he singled back in the 2nd. Curveball from the man on the mound, number 20. We're working to find out who it is on the mound. It's not Miles Webb, who's listed at number 20. Miles Webb is a right-hander. Man on the mound right now is left-handed. The 4th pitch of the at-bat is taken for a called strike 1. So that moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 was 3-1. And Hare takes first base freely. Once again, the scoreboard in right had the wrong count. My apologies. And the stat keeper here doesn't update the count too quickly. So, and I'm almost positive I heard the umpire say 2 after that last strike, but no matter. Casey Hare, the runner on first for the Steamers, and Alan Brown at the plate. Ball gets past the catcher Brewer, Nice awareness from Hare at first. He makes his way up to second. And now a runner in scoring position for the Steamers with just one away here in the bottom of the sixth. Brown awaits the 1-0. Swings and misses at the 1-0. Count moves to 1-1. Brown looking for his first hit today. He's 0 for 1 with a walk that came back in the second. Could pick up an RBI with a base hit as well, with Hare standing on second. Hare pretty fast on the base paths. Brown fouls off the 1-1, so the count moves him behind to 1-2. One ball, one strike. Nice take there from Brown. It was a good-looking curveball out of the hand of number 20 on the hill, but it didn't break quite enough, and it falls on the outside part of the plate. Hare caught in a pickle. He tried getting out on a jump, and the pitcher recognized, and Hare is able to scramble back to first, but they're actually going to call him out as he ran out of the base paths. Or they're going to award him third. It looked like he was running back to the dugout, but they're going to give him third on a balk. In fact, my apologies for the assumption. They called it right in the middle of the rundown, so everyone stopped. I thought maybe he had scrambled out of the base paths, which it looked like he might have down close to third base. But what looked like it was going to be 2 outs for the Steamers with a 2-2 count to the man at the plate. Alan Brown's just 1 out with a man in Casey Hare waiting on third, and the 2-2 count to Brown. Brown rips the ground ball past the third baseman wall. Hare comes in to score, and Brown picks up his first RBI of the season. Correct me, his second RBI of the season. For the Steamers, what's important there, they take the lead. It's now 4-3. So off a walk from Casey Hare, a pass ball that moved him up to second, and a balk that allowed him third base. Alan Brown singles with a ground ball to left and brings Casey Hare home to give the Steamers their second lead tonight. First lead since the bottom of the second. Fine swings at a 1-0 pitch in the heart of the zone. Got a little too far under it. And the center fielder, South Trimble, making his way into left center, recording the second out. Fine now moves to 1 for 3 today. And now Brody Rubenstein looking to avoid the golden sombrero in his 4th plate appearance. He struck out twice swinging and once looking. Throw over to first from the man on the hill is not in time. Once again, if you're just tuning in, I'm only saying man on the hill because we're not exactly sure who it is pitching for Tidewater. He's wearing number 20. Miles Webb, the freshman out of Norfolk, Virginia, is listed as number 20, but he's also listed as a right-hander as Rubenstein fouls that pitch off. The man on the mound now is left-handed. So my apologies for the anonymity. Rubenstein behind in the count 0-1 with Alan Brown, the catcher, standing on first base following the RBI single. Rubenstein lines that one on the hop to the second baseman, Britt. He plays it well. Makes the throw over to first in time. So Rubenstein now 0 for 4 today with 3 strikeouts. 1 runner left on in Alan Brown. He records the single hit of the inning and drives in a run for Edenton as they take a lead 4-3 with 7 hits total in the ballgame. No errors in the inning on part of Tidewater. We head to the top of the 7th. Steamers hold a slim 1-run lead. I'm Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. College of the Albemarle has proudly served northeastern North Carolina for nearly 60 years. COA is North Carolina's first community college with 4 campuses across 7 counties, excellent educational programs, and a strong tradition in the Albemarle region. Their real passion is transformation of their students as they achieve their dreams and grow to better serve their communities. No matter your background, whatever your goals, at COA, you'll transform your tomorrow. Visit their website today at www.albemarle.edu. Pitching change for Edenton. It's Eddie Shores, the freshman out of Davidson College. Shores has made 1 appearance thus far for Edenton, as he starts off the first at-bat to number 7 as he grounds the second pitch of the at-bat to shortstop. Casey Hare making the play over to first in time for the first out. That was Mason Dunaway grounding out. First pitch in this at-bat to catcher Cade Brewer is taken for ball 1. In Shores' first appearance, he threw for 1 inning, allowed a hit, a walk, and struck out 2. But he also allowed 4 earned runs to cross the plate against this team, Tidewater, back on Wednesday. Brewer fouls off the 2-0. Off the end of the bat, cracks his bat, so he'll have to switch out his axe. Count 2-1 to Cade Brewer, the catcher. Brewer looking for his first hit tonight. He struck out twice and flew out to center back in the 3rd inning. Shores looking to pick up a quick out number 2 after forcing Mason Dunaway into a ground out. The 2-1 from Shores is a wild pitch that got away from him high and away. Brown couldn't react in time behind the plate. It crashes off one of the metal beams holding up the netting for a loud ring in the grandstand. Nice Friday night crowd here at Historic Hicks Field, especially if you look down the left field line. It looks like most of the bleachers are filled up. With 6 feet of distance, of course, obviously. We're practicing our social distance here at Historic Hicks Field. The count now 3-2 to Brewer, the catcher, at the plate. Shores looking to pick up out number 2 here. The 3-2 on its way from Eddie Shores. A fastball inside. Swung on and grounded down the 3rd baseline, but foul and out of play. So the count remains at 3-2. Shores played 3 years of varsity baseball at Atlanta's Westminster. He served as a team captain in 2019 and helped the team finish as Georgia's AAA state runner-up in 2018. The 3-2 on its way from Shores. Swung on and missed. Had Brewer fooled. He strikes out once again tonight for a hat trick. 3 Ks for Cade Brewer tonight. And Eddie Shores goes 2 up, 2 down on the hill for Edenton. And now Jacob Mustaine, who went deep to right in his second at-bat in the 3rd inning and brought home 2. Will get another opportunity after walking in his last plate appearance. Great pitch there from Shores to start out the at-bat. Had Mustaine fooled. A little bit of action on that one. Went from a little high and tight to middle in. The 0-1 now from Shores. Breaking ball that broke a little too much. Low for ball 1. Massive swing and a miss there from Jacob Mustaine on the 1-1. Man was aiming for the football field. About 100 yards further out from the right field wall. That's just not really how you want to swing a baseball bat. So the count moves to 1-2. Shores looking to go 1-2-3. Pitch on its way. Fastball high and tight. Nice job holding off on that one from Jacob Mustaine. Mustaine has to dance out of the way of the 2-2 as it's a fastball low and inside by his toes. Full count now to Jacob Mustaine at the plate with 2 outs and no runners on. And the score 4-3 in favor of Edenton. 3-2 is taken for ball 4. Mustaine works a walk with 2 outs and he becomes the lone base runner for Tidewater here in the top of the 7th. Now John Wall, the third baseman, has another opportunity, looking for his first hit tonight. Struck out in the second looking, worked a walk in the third, and then flew out to center in his last plate appearance in the 5th inning. Wall went 0 for 1 against Edenton back in their first meeting together. Wall grounds this one to shortstop. Hare makes the play and makes the simple throw over to second for the force out, and that'll retire the side. No hits, no runs, 1 runner left on, and Jacob Mustaine after working the walk. Edenton still leads 4-3 and picked up no errors there in the top of the 7th. I'm Patrick Foster, listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Jared Kaufman leads off here after doubling in his last plate appearance to deep left center. We have confirmation on the pitcher for Tidewater. It's Brandon Petrie, the freshman out of Virginia Wesleyan University. Didn't play against Edenton in this first competition back on the 24th. Kaufman fouls off the first pitch of the AB. Petrie threw for 1 1/3 against Old Dominion on the 23rd. Allowed 4 hits, 3 earned runs, walked 1 and struck 1 out in the process. Slow breaking ball there from Petrie, but it winds up high. So 1-1 now the count to the second baseman, Kaufman. Kaufman 1 for 3 today with the double. An absolute moonshot from Kaufman to deep left, but just a bit foul. That was the most power I've seen on display from Kaufman in game since the start of the season. But instead of a home run, the count moves to 1-2 as it drifts too far foul. The 1-2 on its way to Kaufman. Tried to do exactly what he did, but in fair territory, and comes up empty, swinging for the fences. So he sat down swinging, and Houston Wright, who collected an RBI single in his last plate appearance, and has rode his hot streak into today as he's 2 for 3 with 2 singles and an RBI. Now 11 RBIs on the season. First pitch swinging, and he fouls it off behind the grandstand. Right, a 308 average in 16 games at the University of Tennessee Martin. Big swing there from Wright. That one's carrying back to right field, his 3rd home run of the season. Houston Wright gives the Steamers a 2-run lead, and in the 3rd consecutive game, Houston Wright homers. He's now got 3 home runs on the season. An absolute bomb to right field by Houston Wright. Nothing could cool this man off right now. He's hotter than a bowl of spicy curry. And that'll lead to a meeting on the mound. The head coach wants to talk things over with Brandon Petrie. So a pitching change once again. Brandon Petrie comes off the mound. It'll be number 28, John Horton, the right-handed pitcher out of Patrick Henry Community College. Stands at about 6'1", 200 pounds up there on the bump. Currently pursuing a degree in business. And like many of the players on this Tidewater roster, calls Virginia Beach, Virginia home.
Number 28, John Horton.
While we have a moment, I'd like to talk to you about Doug Williams, Rick Gilbert HVAC Systems. Doug Williams, Rick Gilbert Refrigeration, Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has been serving residents and businesses in the Elizabeth City and surrounding area since 1974. They are a full-service licensed and insured refrigeration, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning contractor. Customer service is their #1 priority. They provide honest, ethical, and reliable service to every one of their customers. So give them a call today at 252-338-3051. Once again, Doug Williams, Rick Gilbert HVAC. Give them a call today at 252-338-3051. So Horton out of the bullpen will face Alan Alonso. Alan Alonso looking for his first hit still today. After yesterday's game, he had a conversation with Connor Daly, the pitching coach, just about how he could take a little bit of pressure off himself and settle in and just be the ball player everyone knows that he can be, as he's started a little slow here in Edenton. But we all know he can pick things up at the flip of a switch. And I think that conversation not only goes to show Alonso's dedication to the game and his recognition of his own flaws and setbacks, but also to the credit of this coaching staff, how important they are, and just not even 2 full weeks of being here in Edenton, how much of an impact pitching coach Connor Daly has had on this roster. A guy like Alan Alonso, who's not even a part of the pitching staff here in Edenton, going up to Connor and talking to him about how he can better master the mental element of baseball, and we all know baseball is such a mental game. As Alonso takes the 0-1 for a ball high and inside towards his dome. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 is taken for ball 2. Alonzo, also a bit of a workout warrior here in Edenton. Joined the same gym as me, Foundation Fitness out in Hertford. We're also very strictly practicing social distancing regulations. Alonzo gets under the 2-1. Skies it into shallow left field. The shortstop Mason Dunaway tracking into shallow left to collect the second out of the inning.
Designated hitter for the University of South Carolina, number 28, Josiah Seitler.
Now Josiah Seitler digs in, looking to extend his hitting streak to 4 games, 0 for 3 today. He struck out in his first plate appearance, flew out to left and grounded to short. With 2 outs here, and what could be his final plate appearance of the night in the bottom of the 7th, and Edenton holding a 2-run lead. This is where you, as a hitter, might naturally start to put pressure on yourself knowing you've got that hitting streak going, but what's important is to make sure you stay within yourself and just focus on keeping the inning alive and waiting for your pitch, making a good swing. And don't be upset if you just wind up working a walk, because right now with 2 outs, it's one of the more helpful ways to work to your cause. As Seitler fouls the 2-0 straight up in the air, but it's going to drift foul down the third base line. Cade Brewer, the catcher, thought he had a beat on it, but to no avail. Count moves to 2-1 against Seitler. No runners on here for Edenton. They still lead by 2. 5-3 is the score. The tightest contest thus far for Edenton here in the 2020 TSL season as Seitler takes the 2-1 for ball 3. The 3-1 on its way from Horton is swung on and missed by Seitler, so the count now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. It was a nice looking swing by Seitler, but I don't think he was thinking fastball there, as he was just a bit behind. The full count pitch on its way with 2 outs. Nice take there from Seitler to work himself a walk, and that's exactly what I was talking about. A hitter like Seitler, you might think trying to show out, trying to prove to people the talent he is at the plate, but he himself knows he doesn't need to prove that to anyone. What's going to help his team's cause more is being patient at the plate and forcing John Horton to throw as many pitches as possible in every at-bat. Because despite the lead, it's still slim. It's only 2 runs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And this Tidewater offense could spark up at any time. In their previous contest, they scored 4 runs in the later innings. Ball gets away from Brewer behind the plate. Seitler recognizes and makes his way up to second base. It was in the 7th inning of that contest that Tidewater brought 4 runs home as there's a break in the action. Pitcher Horton talking things over with the catcher, Cade Brewer. Looking around the field, trying to find the source of the delay. Looks like it was possibly just a discussion between the home plate umpire and the middle infield umpire. Shane Easter at the plate now. Easter 1 for 3 today with a single. He's also got a strikeout. Horton in the stretch steps off. Runner on second, it's Seitler. The 1-0 to Easter is taken for ball 2. Eight hits so far in the contest for Edenton. They've doubled the hit production of Tidewater. Easter takes that one deep to left field. Backtracking is the left fielder, Jones. He's looking up. That one's going to bounce off the wall. Easter will move up to second. Seitler comes all the way home from second base, and Easter picks up his 2nd hit of the day and drives home the 6th run for Edenton here in the bottom of the 7th inning. They now lead 6-3. And now up the hit total for Edenton to 9 tonight. And Casey Hare digs in with 2 outs. Excellent 2-out hitting there from Shane Easter, who had a subpar year at the plate for Eastern Michigan. Batted just a bit over 200. But he's proven to be one of the more consistent hitters through 4 games on the Steamers lineup, as he's got 2 hits today and came in with a .375 average. First pitch to Hare at the plate. Outside and high, called strike 1. And we got some laughs in the crowd. That one looked like it was definitely far off the plate, but nevertheless called strike 1. Second pitch, a breaking ball that breaks a little too far inside at the hands. That one rightfully called a ball. The 1-1 with the man standing on second on its way, low, and maybe a hair outside. That pitch a hair outside to Casey Hare. Sorry, I don't know why I think I'm funny. I'm not. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Casey Hare. Takes the 2-1 for ball 3. Truth be told, in college, I called most of my games, if not all of my games, now thinking back on it, with a partner. So I'm just still getting used to doing entire games by myself. But I gotta be honest with you, I go a little crazy at times up here as Horton steps off the mound, looks Easter back to second base. Count still 3-1 to Hare, the man at the plate. They're 3-1 on its way to Hare. Taken for ball 4. Nice at bat there from Casey Hare, forcing Horton to throw quite a few pitches and give him first base free of charge.
Catcher in Presbyterian College, number 11, Alan Brown.
Alan Brown, who collected an RBI single earlier tonight. He's back up at the plate and takes the first pitch for a called ball 1. He's got a runner in scoring position, and Easter, who stands up on second following his RBI double. Hare stands at first. Swing and a miss there on the 1-0 from Brown. So the count even now at 1-1.
Get some of those delicious mini donuts. Go down and wake the jab up. I know he's sleeping.
Two on, 2 out. The 1-1 now to Brown. Bit of a wild pitch there, but nice job by Cade Brewer sliding over to his right and holding on to that pitch. Had that got past him, 2 runners would have moved into scoring position for Edenton. They hold a 3-run lead here in the bottom of the 7th. It's 6-3. The 2-1 is swung on and fouled back. Up and over the grandstand. Tough cut there from Alan Brown as he was fooled on the curveball. He goes down on strikes. 2 runs come across the plate, however, here in the bottom of the 7th. They take a lead. It's 6-3. They extend the lead. They don't take the lead. My apologies. They extend the lead to 6-3. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Score 6-3 in favor of your Steamers. I'm Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Pitching change for your hometown Steamers. It's Nick Roser, the sophomore out of Catawba Valley Community College. Roser's thrown for 1 inning against Tarboro back in the 19th as he faces Cameron Wallace, the first baseman, right out of the bullpen. His last appearance was against Tidewater back on the 24th. He also threw for just 1 inning, struck out 1, and didn't allow any runs to score. And did not appear against Old Dominion yesterday. Roser started his college career at Wake Tech as he falls behind in the count now 3-0 to the man at the plate, Wallace. In 2019, Roser made 9 appearances at Wake Tech, collected 2 1/3 innings, 17 strikeouts, but the most important and most impressive part, a .87 ERA. The 3-0, taken for ball 4. Roser out of the pen, throws 4 straight balls.
Sydney, number 4, Trent Jones.
We lost 3 players on the team. 2 of them were people who, like 2020, recruiting class, they got picked, like Combs, Rhino, got picked by Combs. But I don't blame them. Like, who gets picked by Combs?
Now up to the plate, it's number 4, Trent Jones, with a man on first, and he takes the first pitch for a swinging strike.
I mean, I don't know, he's got good stuff.
Now the 0-1 from Roser, swung on and missed again. So the count moves to 0-2 to Jones. Jones singled in the second inning, grounded out to second in his last plate appearance. The 0-2. Fouled off the handle of the bat and into the netting in front of the grandstand. The count remains at 0-2 with no outs and a runner on first.
Well, but if you get drafted now, you get picked.
The 0-2 once again. A breaking ball. Taken for ball 1.
I mean, there's cases where it's difficult. It's like cases.
Roser with the 1-2 with a man on. Swung on and missed by Jones, so he's set down on strikes for the first time tonight. And he moves to 1 for 3 on the day as he walked back in the 4th inning. And now it'll be Dane Hoggard, the designated hitter, stepping back up. He's also looking for his first hit today. He's 0 for 1. He's walked twice, once on a base on balls. He was a hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning, and he struck out looking in the 4th. First pitch of the at-bat from Nick Roser is low and away, taken for ball 1. Here in the top of the 8th inning at Historic Hicks Field, Nick Roser on the bump for Edenton. They lead 6-3 after a solo shot from Houston Wright, his 3rd of the year, his 2nd in 2 games, his 3rd in 4 games. I did say it was his 3rd consecutive game. I apologize, that was incorrect. He did not hit a home run against Tidewater. No one hit a home run against Tidewater for Edenton in the 13-4 victory earlier this week. The 2-1 from Roser is taken for strike 1. Houston right now with 12 RBIs in just 4 games. The 2-1. Taken for a ball, so the count moved to 3-1 now. Shane Easter also brought home a run in that bottom of the 7th. A double high off the towering left field wall that brought in Josiah Seitler, who worked his way on via a walk. And Dane Hoggard does that as well in this plate appearance against Nick Roser. So now 2 runners on for Tidewater, and just 1 away here. And still plenty of baseball left to be played here in the top of the 8th. And only 1 away. 1 swing of the bat could tie this thing up. It's Nick Britt, the 2nd baseman. First pitch of the AB is taken for ball 1. A curveball that finds itself too far outside and too low. There's going to be a meeting on the mound. It's in between going to be between Connor Daly and catcher Alan Brown, along with Nick Roser, obviously. Daly and Roser with a strong previous relationship, as Daly works as an assistant coach at Catawba Valley Community College, where Roser's currently pitching. It's a very personable relationship. They can be extremely real with each other, and they are there as Daly heads back to the dugout with a smile on his face. Roser, a smile as well. Making some jokes, I'm sure. Busting each other's chops. That's just the dynamic between the two. One ball to the man at the plate, Nick Britt. He takes the second pitch all the way in for a called strike 2. Britt looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 3 in 4 plate appearances as he rips that one into right field. It's going to get down. Left field, my apologies. Houston right fields it and gets it into the cutoff man, Alan Alonso. So all runners will hold at third, second, and first with the bases loaded now. And number 14, South Trimble, up to the plate. Trimble singled all the way back in the first inning, but has yet to come up with a hit since there. He flew out to right in the third, grounded into a fielder's choice in the fourth inning, flew out to left in the sixth. And with the bases loaded, double play ball in order for Edenton. First pitch from Roser to Trimble is taken for ball 1. One swing of the bat could give Tidewater the lead. Second pitch, an off-speed pitch, taken for strike 1. This would be a huge out if they can find a way to keep the ball from flying too deep into the outfield. Because a ball deep enough will score a run on a sacrifice, as the third pitch is taken for ball 2, low and away. The 2-1 fouled into the net.
Oh yeah, y'all were rolling until put us. I hate them. They're so petty. I'm down with that.
The 2-2 swung on and skied into foul territory down by the Tidewater dugout. And it'll fall just shy of the roof of the dugout, so Easter not able to make a play over there from first. Count remains at 2-2. Swing and a miss there on the 2-2 count from South Trimble. Big punch out there from Nick Roser for the second out of the inning with the bases loaded. And Edenton holding a solid 3-run lead, but in this kind of situation, a 3-run lead could turn to a one-run deficit with just one swing. First pitch swinging there is number 7, Mason Dunaway. Fouls it off towards the the Tidewater dugout, and it hits off the roof. So no play made. Count moves to 0-1. Dunaway, 1 for 3 tonight with a walk. Singled back in the first inning. Grounded out to short in his previous plate appearance. But an RBI opportunity with the bases loaded and 2 away. The 0-1 from Roser, taken for ball 1.
It's like a baby thing. Like baby kids, like the varsity got me baby in like the 1980s. Yeah, right. The Dodgers like their scout
The 1-1, a breaking ball taken for ball 2.
Oh, yeah, he got drafted by that. That was a good one. He got so much.
2-2, taken for a called strike 2. 2s from top to bottom on the Historic Hicks Field Open Door Church scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. With the bases loaded. The pitch from Roser. Taken for ball 3. So one of those in your backyard dream situations you grow up thinking about as a kid. Bases loaded, 2 outs, full count. Your team trails by 3 for if you're the Tidewater Drillers. Swinging at the 3-2 is Dunaway, and he lines it foul into the home bullpen. Warming up out there right now looks to be Ryan Kutz out of Davidson College. Kutz did come in for a closing appearance against Tidewater in their previous matchup. Swing by Dunaway down the third base line to Alonso. Alonso makes the snag at third, makes the throw at a first, and impressive defensive play from Alan Alonso. And that's one way to get your confidence back up, my friend. A beautiful play from the hot corner. A tough throw from the third baseman, Alonso. And Nick Roser escapes with no runners come across the plate. 3 runners left on for Tidewater there. And just 1 hit for Tidewater. We go now to the bottom of the 8th inning. Steamers looking to add to their 3-run cushion. 6-3 our score. I'm Patrick Foster, listening to Edenton Steamers baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Back at Historic Hicks Field, your Steamers still hold a 3-run lead. 6-3 is the score as we get set for the top of the 8th inning. Adam Fine, the right fielder, leading off. Rising sophomore at St. Joseph's. Fine 1 for 3 today with a ground out and a fly out and a single back in the 2nd inning. Takes the 2nd pitch for a ball. Then a pitching change for Tidewater. Number 21, Jake Crumley, the lefty out of Milligan College. Currently a redshirt junior. Pursuing a degree in sports management. Stands at around 6'4", 240 pounds on the bump. The 1-2 now to Fine. Swing and miss. So Fine set down swinging. And now Brody Rubenstein, who is 0 for 4 today with 3 strikeouts, still looking to avoid the golden sombrero. Rubenstein struck out to open up the contest in the bottom of the 1st for Edenton. He then struck out again in the 2nd, this time swinging. He'd wait 2 more innings before coming up in the 5th, where he struck out swinging once again. Takes a big cut there and comes up empty. And then he grounded out in his previous at-bat. So a soft grounder to the second baseman, Nick Britt. Behind on the fastball there is Rubenstein. And he falls behind in the count 1-2. With already one away in the inning. The 1-2 watched all the way in. Wisely taken there from Rubenstein. Moves to 2-2. You typically see a lot of guys in Rubenstein's position just get a little overzealous at the plate, looking to avoid going 0 for 5. He takes the 2-2 for ball 3 and works the count back full. So the count from 1-2 to 3-2. Rubenstein looking to avoid the 4th strikeout. Takes ball 4. Rubenstein remains 0 for 4 today and works a walk here in the bottom of the 8th. And now Jared Kaufman, who struck out in his last plate appearance but doubled to deep left back in the 5th inning and eventually came around to score on a single from Houston Wright. We'll dig back in. Kaufman 1 for 4 today with the double. Following an 0 for 4 against Old Dominion. That pitch sneaks under the rear end of Cade Brewer at the plate. Rubenstein quick on his feet over there at first. Makes his way to second before Brewer can even decide to make a throw. The count 1-0 to Jared Kaufman, the second baseman. Rubenstein on his way from second to third. But a foul ball from Kaufman at the plate will send Rubenstein right back to second. Steamers staying aggressive here with a 3-run lead. In the bottom of the 8th and 1 away. 1-1 the count to Jared Kaufman. Pitch on the way. No, he'll actually step off the rubber. Crumley, a big body out on that mound. As I said before, 6'4", 240 pounds. Checking on the runner at second. Rubenstein will actually take off. The ball gets away from Brewer at the plate, so Rubenstein stands up at third base safely. Rubenstein took off before Crumley even got into his stretch. The count now 2-1 to the man at the plate, Jared Kaufman. A single anywhere would bring the run home. So would a sacrifice fly. And with the speed of Rubenstein, it wouldn't take too much to bring him home on a sacrifice. Kaufman lifts that one into deep right field. That should be enough to bring Rubenstein home from third. He takes off on the catch from Jacob Mustaine. Rubenstein will stand up safely at home plate and extend the lead for Edenton to 4. It's now 7-3 off the sacrifice fly from Jared Kaufman as he picks up his first RBI tonight.
Houston Wright.
Now Houston Wright, who went way deep to right field for a solo home run back in the 7th. It's another opportunity here. Wright 3 for 4 today. He went 4 for 5 yesterday. Came in today with a .643 batting average. Now the 1-0 from Crumley. He lines it right back to the pitcher Crumley, and it hits off the left leg. The catcher, Cade Brewer, reacted in time, made the throw over, and Crumley kind of nursing that spot of the contact. Wright's going to stand up at first base. I'm interested to see how this one will be scored. Now Wright reached first after hitting Crumley with a line drive right back up the middle. Luckily nowhere in the upper body. As unfortunate as it is to get hit as a pitcher, you'd rather it be somewhere on your lower half than the upper half. There's been too many scary moments in baseball as Crumley comes to his feet and draws a standing ovation from the crowd. Rightfully so. And it looks like he'll stay on the mound. He'll most certainly get a couple pitches to work out the whatever pain he might be feeling. So Wright is given a single by our scorekeeper John Barrow. Right now 4 for 5 in back-to-back games with a homer in each of them. Making offense in this TSL league look kind of like playing MLB The Show on rookie. He really is just locked in as anyone could be at the plate. 4 for 5 today, and now Alan Alonso digs in. Alonso made that tremendous throw from third over to first base for the final out of the top of the 8th, but is yet to come up with a hit today. He walked back in the second inning, and he's flown out in each of the 3 appearances since then. The 1-0 is taken for a ball high and outside, 2-0. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. And with the Steamers down, or up, excuse me, 7-3, this could be their final out. Alonso sends a shot to deep left. Looking up is the left fielder, and that one gets out. Alan Alonso. You tell me if that play at third brought his confidence back. I think so. He goes deep to left. Didn't look like it was going to get out of here, but it just scraped the top of the wall. A huge home run for Alan Alonso, his first of the season, and a big hit he's been looking for since arriving here in Edenton. And every single one of his teammates come out to show him some support. Now he's talking to Josiah Seitler. Everyone here psyched up for Alan Alonso after that 2-run bomb. It extends the lead to 6, 9-3. Even I have a smile on my face after watching that Alonso bomb. 11 hits now for the Steamers. And Josiah Seitler up at the plate. Swing and a miss at the first one for strike 1. Seitler still looking for that first hit. He's 0 for 3 with a walk, and he lofts that 0-1 pitch up in the air to the shallow part of the infield. The third baseman, John Wall, can't come up with it. He drops it, so that'll be scored as an error. An E5 in the playbook, in the scorebook. Seitler stands safely over there at first. Crumley going to switch out the baseballs. And now Shane Easter, who doubled home run in the bottom of the 7th, will have another opportunity. He's had a solid day here as well, 2 for 4 with a double and a single. First pitch is taken on the outer half of the middle part of the plate for called strike 1. The 0-1 swung on and fouled back by Easter, so he's quickly down in the count, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Shane Easter at the plate. Watches the 0-2 all the way in for ball 1. If you're just tuning in, Steamers lead big here in the bottom of the 8th. 9-3 after the 2-run shot from Alan Alonso playing third base tonight. Easter skies the 0-2 in the air to the shortstop Dunaway. He'll stand under it and make a two-handed grab for the final out of the inning. We head to the top of the 9th. Steamers look to close things out. They hold a 6-run lead. Ryan Kutz takes the mound for the Steamers when we come back. 3 runs for the Steamers in the bottom of the 8th inning, coming off of 2 hits and 1 error on part of the Tidewater Drillers. A dropped pop fly from John Wall at third. We move to the top of the ninth. Steamers lead by 6. I'm Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball, only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. The Steamers are excited to announce that they are hosting the 2020 Tidewater Summer League All-Star Game on Sunday, July 19th. This will be an exciting opportunity to see the best players that the TSL has to offer on one field together. The day will be full of exciting events, including a home run derby at 4 p.m. and the All-Star Game at 6 p.m. Tickets will be available to purchase soon on the Steamers website, so stay tuned for more information. Ryan Kutz on the mound to close things out here in the top of the ninth inning. Steamers lead by 6 following a 3-run bottom of the 8th. That saw Alan Alonso go deep for the first time this season to bring home 2 runs. Out of the pen, Kutz facing number 10. He grounds it on the ground to third base. Alan Alonso makes another solid play over there at third to record the first out of the inning. My apologies, that was Cade Brewer, the catcher. And now it'll be Jacob Mustaine, the sophomore at Virginia Military Institute, who went deep earlier in this game and has walked twice. With 1 out, and his Drillers down by 6 here on the road. First pitch from Kutz is taken for ball 1. Kutz appeared against Tidewater back on the 24th. It was the second pitch is taken for ball 2. He was also in closing duties. He walked 1, struck out 1. Kutz stand at about 6'2", 220 pounds. The 2-0 on its way from Kutz. Nice comeback pitch there after falling behind 2-0. A fastball right down the pipes for strike 1. The 2-1 now from Kutz. Mustaine watches that one come all the way in for a strike. Nice job by Kutz, nailing that high outside corner. Tough pitch for anybody to hit. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The pitch from Kutz. That one's lined on a rope to the second baseman Kaufman, who has to make a diving attempt. It sneaks past his glove and into center field. So Mustaine on a 2-2 count lines a pitch from Kutz right back up the middle. and works his way on with one out here for Tidewater. In the top of the ninth inning, they still trail by 6, but with one runner on, they improve their hit total to 6 tonight. So not quite doubled up in that category by Steamers, as they now have 11. First pitch from Kutz to the third baseman, John Wall, is taken for ball 1. The 1-0 from Kutz with a runner on. Nice slider there from Kutz. Works its way back into the zone, which started high and outside. Good for strike 1. Wall also looking for his first hit today here in the top of the ninth with a runner on first. Kutz with the 1-1. Nice action on that one, but just a bit inside. Tough call there for Kutz. He now falls behind 2-1. Wall struck out looking in the second inning, drew a walk in the third, flew out to center back in inning number 5, and grounded into a fielder's choice in the 7th. Wall awaits the 2-1 from Kutz. Solid pitch there, but that one just a hair outside. So the count now pushed to 3-1 with 1 out and 1 runner on. Double play ball in order here for Edenton. If they can come up with a double play, that would end tonight's contest. Kutz with the 3-1. High inside, taken for ball 4. So now 2 runners on for the Drillers.
First baseman, Christopher Newport.
A home run would only cut the deficit in half. Even with 2 runners on. Alan Brown taking a moment to talk things over with pitcher Kutz. Now, though he's departed from Edenton, I want everyone to remember the words of Colt Byers throughout the season, especially as we start to get into the heart of league play in July. He told me that Ryan Kutz, the man on the mound for Edenton at the moment, throws probably the hardest slider that he's ever caught. And an experienced catcher like Colt has definitely seen many, many hard-thrown sliders, as the first pitch from Kutz to Cameron Wallace is chop foul. Runners on first and second with just 1 out. Drillers trail by 6. It's 9-3. The 0-1 from Kutz to Wallace. Bounces that one behind the plate. It comes up and hits catcher Alan Brown in the face mask. But he looks all right. Removes the face mask. Umpire asks if he's all right. He gives him a nod. Still under 3 hours. Double play could end this game in under 3. Started with the first pitch at 7 o'clock. Kutz with the 0-2 on its way to Wallace. Hits off the glove of Alan Brown, so both runners are going to advance. The double play now taken away from the Steamers. Tough pitch to catch there, had a little action on it. Maybe a little bit too much mustard. 9-3 is the score. Steamers up by 6 here in the top of the 9th inning. 2 runs for the Steamers in the bottom of the 2nd. 1 in the 5th and 1 in the 6th. 2 in the 7th and 3 in the 8th. So some late offense coming for Edenton. Has them out to a 6-run advantage after the ball from Kutz evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 now from Kutz. Swung on and missed, so he sets down Wallace swinging. A big punch out there. As Tidewater now falls to their final out
Left field from Hampton, Sydney, number 4, Trent Jones.
And Trent Jones, the right fielder, committed to Hampton Sydney College, will be looked to keep the inning alive for the Drillers. Coates trying to shut things down here in the top of the 9th. First pitch, taken high and tight. Ball 1. Jones singled in the 2nd, hitless since. He walked in the 4th, grounded out up the middle in the 6th, and back in the 8th inning, struck out swinging. Coates falls behind 2-0. With 2 runners in scoring position and Tidewater still trailing by 6. A base hit would only cut the deficit to 4. Coates losing control of this AB as he falls behind in the count. 3 balls and no strikes. Might as well throw him a meatball right down the middle, as Jones is absolutely, or should absolutely be, taking all the way here. Someone who's only 1 for 3 in the bottom of the order should be taken all the way, and he does. Coates comes back with a fastball right down the middle. So the count now goes to 3-1. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Coates come back with another fastball right down the middle, just to fill up the count. Coates with the 3-1. Clips the top part of the zone for strike number 2 with a fastball. Count moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Tidewater down to their final strike. The pitch from Coates. Swung on, and that one's going to fall in left field. It'll bring both runners home. Jones stands up at first safely. The throw comes into Coates on the mound. And the lead for Edenton goes from 6 to 4 on a nice at-bat there from Trent Jones. Got ahead in the count, 3 balls, no strikes. Watch the next 2 pitches come in for strikes. So with a full count, took Ryan Coates to left and drove home 2 runs for the first hit of the inning for Tidewater. In fact, the second hit of the inning. It's getting late here, and I'm not good at math naturally anyway. 9-5 the score. The first pitch from Coates was taken for ball 1. Now Dane Hoggard takes the second for ball 2. Hoggard 0 for 1 today. He's walked 3 times and struck out looking back in the 4th inning. The 2-0 on its way from Coates. Swung on, and that one's blooped over the first baseman Easter's head, and it'll fall into right field. The right fielder, Fine, comes up with it, makes the throw into third. It'll roll to Alan Alonso at third base. Both runners will stop at second and first. So a bit of a rally coming from the Drillers here in the top of the 9th. Nick Britt, the leadoff man in the lineup, comes back up for his 6th plate appearance. He's 1 for 4 with 1 single coming back in the 8th inning. He also reached on an error in the 2nd from a Jared Kaufman drop pop-up. First pitch from Coates in the AB is taken for ball 1. Fans starting to sound a little restless here at Historic Hicks Field. Coates with the 1-0. That one's grounded to the third baseman, Alonso. Cops off his chest. He makes a strong throw over to first base. for the third and final out. So Alan Alonso comes up with multiple big plays here in the final 3 innings, including a 2-run bomb and the final out in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Steamers win tonight's ball game against Tidewater. They're 2-0 against Tidewater to start the season. They're 4-0 in the TSL, the only undefeated team and the only team with 4 wins. They are also undefeated here at Historic Hicks Field. They have yet to go on the road. It all started with 2 runs back in the bottom of the 2nd. They then scored 1 in the bottom of the 5th, 1 in the bottom of the 6th, 2 in the bottom of the 7th, and 3 in the bottom of the 9th. And it was really that effort in the bottom of the 8th, those 3 runs, that secured the victory. 3 runs, 2 runs come across to score for Tidewater in the bottom of the top of the 9th inning. So the final score, 9-5. That's going to do it for this edition of Steamers Baseball. The Edenton Steamers come away victorious yet again over the Tidewater Drillers by a final score of 9-5. Your Steamers will be back in action again tomorrow night at 7 p.m. as they battle the Old Dominion Hitters for the 2nd time this week and 2nd time this season, right here at Historic Hicks Field for the final game of the week. You can catch all the action right here on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. My name is Patrick Foster. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's contest. Stay happy, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay beautiful, Steamers Nation.